Xavier Moon rounds out your starting five, and big things expected from Xavier Moon. At one point, he was, well, continuing to be the top point getter in this league, then some injuries and some flu. It is the Express versus the Lightning right now on Rogers TV, and it is the visiting Express winning the opening tip-off, and away we go on Saturday night basketball action. John Van Houweling and yours truly, Johnny Urban, happy to take you through this Central Division battle. Right off the hop, it's Chris Jones, almost losing the rock, battling for it on the hardwood is Randy Phillips. He couldn't get it, though. Jones to the near corner to Osei. Three ball hits the back of the rim. Williamson battling for the ball down low. Out hustled, though, by the Express. Once again, Kemi Osei loses Xavier Moon, but can't capitalize.
I thought there might have been a foul on that play, but nothing called. There's Capers.
Capers to the rim and nice lays it in.
Floater up and over. I've been singing his praises all year, have I not? Marcus Capers. I was telling you before the show, that he's in the top 5 in assist turnover ratio, a top 5 in steals, a top 5 in blocks. He's just in the top 3 in minutes played per game. He is doing everything for London.
Quiddell Brown to Osei in the near corner, watched by Capers. They're going to kick it out. A long three in front of Xavier Moon as the shot clock expires. Will not go down for Chris Jones. Now it's the newcomer, Cameron Forte. Spinning around on that far wing. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Drives into the paint. Kicks it out for Capers. Three ball is up. Hits the back of the rim. It is Williams Jr. coming away with it now for these Express. Down low. Not getting this one to go, but will go to the line. Kurt Williams Jr. out of White Plains, New York.
That was a foul on Forte. Got caught in his back heels and couldn't keep up with the speed on that one there. Straight line to the basket pretty well.
Williams Jr. was a 2013 NBL of Canada 6th Man of the Year, and in 2015 with the Express actually won the Canadian Finals MVP in this league.
Comes with lots of credentials. He's a veteran, strong as well.
And as I mentioned, played last year here for the Lightning as he gets, well, a friendly role from the Budweiser rim.
I'm going to keep an eye on, we should keep an eye on foul shots tonight because that has been a bit, for percentage-wise, London Lightning's Achilles heel, but they got to the foul line 34 times and outscored them by 8 points, and they won by 4. So really, they won it on the foul line the last game. Everything else was pretty equal.
After a Randy Phillips rebound, it is Williamson penetrating the offensive territory for the Express. A bounce pass to Forte in his second game as a Lightning. Throws it up, rattles around, and drops. Almost a Kawhi-like roll off the rim.
Left-handed hook shot, no less.
4-1 game here early. Chris Jones trying to chew back into this. Still plenty of basketball left. 10 minutes to go here in the opening frame.
Is that Quiddell Brown he's guarded? That's a tough matchup for Forte, I would think.
But he did enough to harass Brown as the Chicago, Illinois native, whose home is now in Phoenix, doesn't get the opportunity to go. Another opportunity, though, for the Express, and, well, you're not going to miss that one for Williams Jr. The square is your friend, John.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Keep telling all the youngsters that are playing this weekend. We were watching a 12 and under girls tournament that used the backboard.
Phillips does use the backboard, but not the square, and as a result, well, it's the Express ball.
Interesting. Dribble penetration again. They're really going to the heart.
And they go right back to Williams Jr., who again spent 88 games in a London Lightning uniform, including a game last season. Williamson tried to get it back to Capers. They kind of looked back at each other. Then Williamson got it back, but there is a whistle blown by the officials.
I believe that's on Xavier Moon reaching in, even though Williamson was hustling down. Williamson uncharacteristically 2 early turnovers in the game. We know that he's been struggling. I think he's back to full health right now, full strength as well. He's had an injury, slow to come back from that. He suffered from the flu mightily the last 2 weeks. But I think he's at full health, and I think the London Lightning team is as well.
Bounce pass from Sam Muldrow. And now sandwiched on his keister. It'll be played over to Williams Jr. for 3. No, it won't go. That would have been an interesting assist for Chris Jones.
Good defense by London Lightning so far, other than the 2 easy putbacks.
Another hook shot.
Oh my goodness!
And Forte gets his first points here at Budweiser Gardens.
A little unorthodox. I did read about that in the paper. That's how the coach described him. Bit unorthodox, but he just goes for the net.
Well, Marique Isom is not available today for Doug Plum. He has a bit of a awkward shot, according to my co-host.
Yeah, I know. So they have 11 players tonight that are healthy and can play. That's pretty well almost a first this year for London Lightning.
And it's number 11, Kirk Williams Jr. not capitalizing on the 2. A beautiful pass by Xavier Moon. Unfortunately, Randy Phillips doesn't get it done, but Cameron Forte does.
6 points for him already, and an offensive board to boot.
8:15 to go here in the opening quarter. Play a 5-point lead for the London Lightning. They already got lucky number 13 as far as victories is concerned to that 125-121 win. There's a foul on this play going on Sam Muldrow.
That's Randy Phillips' first foul.
And in that game, by the way, partner, Windsor led by as much as 19 in the third quarter.
Yes, they did.
It was a 38-20 fourth quarter put on by the London Lightning, who, let's face it, have been struggling in the fourth quarter.
Well, in their 4-game losing streak, that was their letdown. Also in the overtime period, right? They had chances to pull those games out.
Sam Muldrow at the line. As I mentioned in the starting 5, he is the block party, folks. The first one won't go, though, as he leads this league in all-time blocks. He spent 4 seasons in Europe, Greece, Ukraine, Lithuania, and Germany. 128 games before coming to this league.
How do you find out all these things? My goodness.
It's that creepy stat pack that
You must spend hours on it. That's awesome to know all that.
8 minutes to go in the opening quarter. It's an 8-3 lead here for the home squad. Capers bounce past to Phillips. Do the Florida natives hook it up? They do. Hoop and the harm for Randy Phillips.
Got great inside position that time. Shielded it with his body and powered his way up even though he got hacked on the hand.
My apologies. Randy Phillips from Jackson, Mississippi. He's a Radford product, and he actually played in Switzerland last year.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is a lot of players are well-traveled in this league, right? We know that. It brings interesting dynamics as well to the league.
Well, to add to that point, partner, to the newcomer Cameron Forte, in just the 2016-17 season, played 24 games in Mexico, 5 games in Greece, and 3 games in Kosovo. So talk about literally going all over the world. 7:45 remains here, and it's a comfortable 8-point lead here early as the Windsor Express are struggling offensively out of the gate.
Look who comes into the game. To me, this is almost like a start of a new team for London Lightning. AJ Gaines comes off the bench. But really, one of their former starters, now he's a bench player.
Moon to Williamson. Williamson can't get love off the rim. Rebounded away by Muldrow.
What a luxury to have.
Pushing it up the court. 3 ball is away. Splash. Kemios Hay.
Yeah, he's played well lately. Put some numbers on the board.
Williamson back into Express territory. Beautiful pass again by Moon and one by Williamson. That was all set up, though, by the Goodwater, Alabama native and Xavier Moon.
Yes, and a quick decision by Garrett Williamson. Take it right strong and up to the basket. He hesitated for a moment. That was going to be a charge. Watch his quick reaction on the give and go. Here it is. Here he goes. And look how quick he is up in the air. That gave the defender no chance to come outside that restricted area and try to gain a charge.
By the way, this is game number 236 as the first shot is good for Williamson. 223 games started in a Lightning uniform and a 2-time champion. You can't buy that kind of experience.
No, you can't.
The Express.
Tyler Green is in it now as well. So.
And again, only 5 people so far registered for the Express. As this shot hits the front of the rim, rebounded away by the Louisiana native in Gaines. Pushes the court up to Forte. Forte! What a move in midair to adjust and get the 2 ball to go.
No hesitation at all. He's going strong to the rim, just like we heard his first game down in Windsor.
The 7th encounter of the season between the Express and the Lightning. Technically the 8th, as these two teams played each other one time in preseason competition at St. Clair College. London currently holding a 4-2 advantage during the regular season affair as Green battles away for the rebound and pulls it away for Capers. Quickly to Forte. Forte driving towards the net. One-hander's up, and it's good again.
Again, no hesitation. Putting the defender on his heels on a little left-handed floater. We haven't seen that much this year, the little left-handed hook.
The only thing I'll throw out there in the 25-point performance in that 125-121 win for Cameron Forte, 19 of those 25 points came in the opening half. The Express really shut him down in the third quarter, and he had a little spark there in the fourth. And we see here early, Forte's leading everybody on the court in the opening half with 10 points.
Okay, well, let's see what we get tonight. You know, and also I was saying Jaylon Tate, right? Basically, they have 2 new players are integrating into the team between Tate and the newcomer Forte.
And we talked with management pregame, John. We talked about, well, losing such a quality player of Omar Strong's caliber. And they talked, well, ironically enough, it's Jaylon Tate that led all the Lightning products in that preseason game against the Windsor Express. And their original thinking by management when they brought the Chicago native in was it's going to be him and Xavier Moon sharing the duties at point guard.
Yes, it was, yeah.
So Omar Strong, unfortunately, was kind of the third man out. And him being an American from Baltimore, Maryland, they had to cut an American over a Canadian during the recent transaction.
Yes, that is true. So what I'm saying is, so Jalen, like, all he played was the exhibition game. He hasn't played all season for them. So really, it's a new player coming in to see what kind of impact, how he can integrate himself, and Forte as well.
He had one game here at home, if you recall, John, at Budweiser Gardens, then got injured about 4 minutes of court
in the
time.
game. And we never really see what he could really do. And
then in the last game, again, that 125-121 victory in the City of Roses, he also did get some court time, limited though, coming back again, as Greg Bowman mentioned at courtside, back-to-back ankle injuries.
And of course, if you're a fan of the Lightning, Mo Bolton not here tonight. He's been placed on inactive reserve for some personal reasons, so we're not sure what the status of that will be as well. But currently, he's not playing tonight either as well.
No, you are correct.
And he's one of those key players, usually a starter for the London Lightning. So to me, it's almost like they're starting almost over again.
And now you have Quinnell Brown with a nice pass, rejected by Capers. They're going to say express ball. Now, wait a minute. The officials disagree with each other, and now they're going to, well, confirm that it is express ball. Going back to your point, though, about Mo Bolton, partner, I mean, a guy that's won 3 championships in this league, and at the start of the 2017-18 season has logged 3,000 minutes in a Lightning uniform.
Yeah, big loss for them.
Under 6 minutes to go. Windsor trying to add to just the 6 points they have on the board.
I saw that push. Did you see the push? I saw the push underneath. Big time push. Capers holding his position. Getting pushed out of the way.
Just sort of cheekily pulls the ball away from Kirk Williams Jr. And, well, Lightning pushed the pace with a 12-point lead.
And we haven't even talked that much about Tyrell Green yet, because he's only played, 3 or 4 games so far with limited minutes. Also trying to get integrated into the lineup.
Stops in Sweden, Hungary, and Luxembourg before coming up here to London as A.J. Gaines practically from the charity stripe has a splash.
He has such great hang time. It's like he's up in the air for 3, 4, 5 seconds. That's unbelievable how long he stays up there.
If you recall the last home game for the London Lightning, where they are on a 3-game losing streak here at Budweiser Gardens against the KW Titans, they didn't score until about 8 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. In fact, they did not score an official bucket in the opening 12 minutes of play.
I know. That's a day that'll go down in infamy, won't it?
And yet, here you see, John, 20 points on the board with 5 minutes left to go in this opening quarter. A completely different story. Forte, I mean, that looked straight up awkward, and it worked.
Well, he's under control, and he's got the defender on his heels. It's a quick shot-put shot. Obviously, he's very familiar with it.
Shot-put shot, I like that.
That is what it looks like, right? But he's got control, so it's like a floater.
And he's got 6 for 6 from the field right now. Thanks to that shot-put style, he has 12 points, leading everybody on the court. Now it's A.J. Gaines slicing and dicing. I think the call is made off the ball, though.
Yeah, you got slapped as he coming across half. Watch this shot here. But look how quickly he gets it off the air. The defender has no chance to react. Look, oh, you're shooting? Oh, I didn't know you were shooting. Oh, it's in the net. Oh, just so awkward. You don't know how to defend it.
Played the 2017-18 season for the Icelandic Dominoes League in Keflavik. They finished 12-15 that year and in 5th place in Iceland. And that's the last taste I could find of professional basketball for Mr. Forte. As Williamson, take him to the Ringley Brothers circus. What a shot and one.
They come to play tonight, the London Lightning, at least in this first quarter. Garrett Williamson just forcing it up, staying under control, and putting the circus-like shot into the net, and one. Well,
for the first third of this regular season, John, Lightning just dominated here at Budweiser Gardens. They were a perfect 9-0 to start this year. Still looking for that elusive 10th victory, though, as they're technically on a 3-game skid here at the Bud.
That's right. We're not used to that here on their home court.
Onto the court right now is Derek Nix. He's a Detroit, Michigan native who spent 139 games in a Spartans uniform at Michigan State. Played 2 games for Detroit in the Summer League and 3 games for their G League team in the Grand Rapids Drive.
What's he listed at? 6'7" or so?
Yeah, currently they have Nix at 6'9", 270. And
yeah,
once again,
that's what I think. That's probably true.
And unfortunately, Otas's dunk will not count as the foul was called at midcourt.
It's interesting, some of the moves at Windsor. I like to pick up a Quinnell Brown. He's 36. Well, look how great shape he's in. And he is a quality player. He was their high scorer the last game. Chris Jones, of course, trading a Shaquille Keith. A little puzzling to me, but they're looking for a different mix. And they have come back to almost 500 from a really disastrous start this season. So
Chris Cummins is now out on the court. He's born in Canton, Ohio for the Windsor Express. He went to South Carolina Aiken for 2 years after 2 years at Finley. And he's a gentleman that's been around, to say the least. This is his 4th season in a Windsor Express uniform in well over 150 games for the Windsor Express. 4 minutes remains in this opening quarter, 25-8. What a dominating affair so far for the home team.
they are not getting any good looks, are they?
Knicks.
Even there, everything is contested.
And the defense is certainly collapsing into that paint nicely. A.J. Gaines, what a play, but he couldn't cap it off. Physical basketball displayed by the big man and Derek Nix. And it is Cummins, quickly to Jones. Jones trying to cross up Green into the paint. Shot is up, it won't go, but he will head to the line to shoot 2.
That foul's on Tyrell Green. He just got in a bad defensive position, and Jones just put his shoulder into him and generated the foul. He's going to the line, shooting 2.
And Tyrell Green, by the way, this is just his 2nd game back after he, had to leave the team for a bit for a pretty cool reason. Suited up for Team Canada at the 2020 AmeriCup qualifiers. This is the guy that also suited up for Team Canada back in 2012 in the U17 World Cup. 3:35 remains here in the opening quarter of play, trying to add just 8 points on the board. Well, Chris Jones will do so here.
Yeah, Jones is their leading scorer on the season, 22.5 points a game.
Last season with the Windsor Express, started just 9 of 25 games, but did go 83.1% from the charity stripe as he makes 2 here. A gentleman that started in 51 of 59 games at Louisville and logged over 1,600 minutes of court time for the Cardinals.
Another turnover by Garrett Williamson, just a little out of sorts. This is 3rd one already.
A little skip to my Lou, and Chris Jones, nasty little move on the European sidestep.
Strong finish with his left hand, no less.
So it leads almost in half right now, 25-12, 3:10 remains here. And we finally get to see on the court, my friend, Jaylon Tate, the Chicago native. A little give and go with Phillips. Phillips double teamed down low, and Phillips wants a call. He's not going to get one this time on Quinnell Brown, but the ball does maintain in London's possession.
Good strong take. Better defense. It's hard to tell who banged who. There's a lot of big bodies down there, so.
Xavier Moon from the end line looking for Gaines. Gaines quickly puts it up, rattles off the rim and won't go. Rebounded by Nix. Nix leaves it there for Jones. Jones across midcourt, uses a screen provided by Nix, puts up the 2-ball splash. Timeout taken on the court with 2:49 left here in the first quarter by Doug Plum and the Lightning, despite the fact that they do have an 11-point lead, large in part to Cameron Forte, 6 of 6 from the field in this opening quarter, 12 points, leading everybody on the court.
Yeah, what an auspicious start here at home. My goodness, picked up where he left off down in Windsor.
And I mentioned to you this at the beginning of the broadcast. London was on a 4-game losing streak until that last encounter with Windsor where they pulled out the 4-point win. How big was that for a team that was really reeling over the last 2 weeks before they come back to the Budweiser Gardens, a place they're still looking for their 10th win when they started off 9-0.
I think it's a huge confidence builder. To me, this is almost the start of a new season for London Lightning with the implementation of new players, turnover of some of the players. A really rough stretch where sickness and injury played a part, and they had some mental breakdowns in the 4th quarter, lost games in overtime, lost games at the buzzer. To me, this is almost like a start of a new season for them. Half the season is gone, they got half a season to go. To me, they almost have to, I wouldn't say start from scratch, but it's almost like chemistry has to be rebuilt again with this team. Who's doing what on this team at what time, and who's taking the shots, and who's making the big plays. So I'm pretty encouraged by this first quarter, to be honest with you.
Puts even more responsibility on the head coach in Doug Plum. Plum, as a player, spent 3 seasons at UBC. They're known as the Thunderbirds, and in 2013 was a Canada West first-team All-Star and a second-team All-Canadian. Xavier Moon thought about taking the 3 over Osei, instead switches it over to Williamson. Williamson back to Phillips. Moon saves the half-court violation. Now Moon to the left side, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Randy Phillips to Gaines for 3.
Oh, my, under pressure. falling backwards. That's only the second three the London Lightning have taken this quarter, and he makes the first one, does A.J. Gaines.
A.J. Gaines now has 5 points as Williamson steals this and has Gaines up the court. Gaines all alone. That's going to make the cuts in NBLC, folks.
That certainly will. The high flyer is exactly right, is what he is.
The Louisiana native, a fan favorite. By the way, not wearing those flashy red kicks, and I asked him pregame about that. He says he likes to switch it up as we have a nice finger roll layup by Chris Jones, and some players are so finicky. I remember a goalie from Latvia, Arthur Zerbe.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Never changed his pads over 20 years. Those things look so dank as we get Jaylon Tate getting involved in the action.
First sighting at Tate and scoring for his London Lightning team.
So I was a little shocked when A.J. Gaines was telling us that, no, you know, I'll switch him up. It depends how I feel that day. And he says his biggest motivation this year, John, is his baby boy, his son, and to win a championship.
There you go. All good motivation.
1:20 to go here in this high-scoring opening quarter of play. 32-18. Taking advantage right now is the home squad. Phillips providing a, well, that was interesting. The screen was to the right for Tate. Tate decided to go left. It's an inadvertent kick ball. It'll still be London's ball with 12 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, Phillips slipped the screen. That ball should have come through for him for an easy layup.
And because it was a kick ball on Windsor, they've actually reset the clock to 14 seconds.
Again, yep. We haven't spoken too much about A.J. Gaines' game on Thursday, right? Let's have a look at what he did.
30 points in 33 minutes, 6 rebounds.
Yeah, I was going to say he was a point a minute man, was he not?
This is an offensive foul, I believe, on the aforementioned Mr. Gaines. No, it's on Cameron Forte.
It's on Cameron Forte.
Off the ball.
Setting that screen for Gaines to get the shot.
But yeah, going to that Gaines performance, 12 of 18 from the field, and you're right, almost a point per minute, 33 minutes of court time, 30 points to his credit.
Yeah, because I saw the points, and then I was looking at the minutes and going, oh, he's almost a point a minute man. Like, that's unheard of.
And again, that was a game, 14 lead changes. Oh, my word! What a rejection from Xavier Moon at 6'2", launched himself into the air and broke out a batch of stuffing on, well, Mr. Jones.
Another guy that really gets off his feet really quickly, gets off the floor very quickly, does Xavier Moon.
Now, him and A.J. Gaines,
yeah,
those
two, not only good vertical, but they're just quick off the ground as well.
Osei was left open in the near corner, didn't pull the trigger, goes to the big man and Nix. Nix is rejected, gets his points back, then gives the pump of the chest to the official. A giveaway in their own zone allows Chris Jones go back to work with a 12-point deficit. Jones almost has his pass interrupted. Great hand-eye by Osei. Puts up the one-hander, and it's good. A bit of a run here by the Express in the last minute.
A little bit of a letdown there at the last minute or so in turnovers by London Lightning. 6 quick points by Express to get back in the game, 10
After
points.
What's been a dominating 12 minutes of play by the home squad. Moon for three, won't go. Trying with the putback jam was Capers. He couldn't get it. Even if Osei had made that shot, I don't think it was released in time.
It wasn't in time. He was hopeful.
He's trying to sell it.
But they've given up 4 turnovers. Gave us 6 turnover points as well to Express. Express crawled back in this game. They're down by a large margin, and it's now only down to 10.
Watch out for Quinnell Brown. He's only registered 1 rebound in this game. He's coming off of a performance where, yeah, his team lost by 4, but he put up 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Now a numbers game the other way, led by Nix. The big man, well, just gracefully lays it in with the left hand.
Under control. That was good play by him. Take it slow.
I was expecting a freight train there just to drive
he did. Made a good decision. Xavier Moon has not scored for the London Lightning yet either.
Gaines has, though. Does he add to it? Clink, it goes out. And yeah, good point by you, partner. Moon so far 0 for 1 from downtown. Does have 2 rebounds and 2 assists after 12 minutes of play. Nix fools everybody. They bounce it to Jones. Kick out to Osei. 3-ball won't go. Gaines with a rebound. A.J. Gaines just soaring in there for his 3rd board of the game. Xavier Moon slicing and dicing. Lays it in with the right hand.
Good. A good fake to the right, threw his man off. Nice little floater into the rim.
Almost took a page out of Derek Nick's book from the previous play. As this is a 3-ball splash, and I mentioned it. You can't keep Quinnell Brown quiet for long.
Can't keep a good man down for long. That's right.
Lead is down to 7 points now after it was a 10-point lead after 12 minutes of play.
Well, it's really a tale of different quarters down in Windsor on Wednesday as well, right?
Gaines the fadeaway too. It's the front of the rim and won't go.
Windsor had a couple big quarters and then the big 4th quarter by London Lightning, 38-20. So we're expecting sort of these runs as a pattern that we've seen from the last game. It sounds like it's happening here again as well.
Bit of a lackluster foul at midcourt by A.J. Gaines, but it does allow Tyrell Green and Randy Phillips to check in as Forte is going to join Gaines on the bench. 10:32 remains before the halftime break, and Greg Bowen mentioned this is the third straight encounter for the London Lightning against the Express. Not the same for the Express, who actually saw KW and the Titans in between those 3 games and picked up a victory. They're coming off of a 4-game homestand out of the Express, where they went 2-2 coming off of that last loss to London.
So our first look at Ryan Anderson, former London Lightning as well, a terrific shooter. A little off this year, a couple of injuries as well, but he's always dangerous. Now Brown taking it hard to the hoop.
Anderson played 11 games in the G League before coming to this league in the Sioux Falls Skyforce. This is now his 7th season in the league. He played for the Ottawa Skyhawks, and you just mentioned it, for the London Lightning. 145 games here for the London Lightning, including 2 championships for Mr. Anderson.
Yes, and Quinnell Brown starting to come to life here. Nice drive to the hoop on that replay. A little reverse, getting to the line. Foul on Tyrell Green.
The first shot is up, and it is good. For Quinnell Brown, 2 seasons at Auburn after 2 seasons at Wabash Valley. And then he actually played in the inaugural season of this league, if you can believe it, John, for the Laval Kebs. Then spent his sophomore year for the Halifax Hurricanes. Since then, it's been all Windsor with his 4th year in the league.
Yeah, I remember the Quebec Kebs. They weren't in the league very long, but
they were not. As it is a corner 3, dialing it up is Tyrell Green.
With a hand in his face, no less, as well. No hesitation on that shot.
London hasn't necessarily shot a whole lot from downtown, John, but when they have, they've been efficient despite great defense by the Express. And here's great defense by the Lightning. Williamson the other way, lays it off the window and in, and loses an Express member into the crowd. I believe that was Quinnell Brown.
Yeah, it was.
Taking a seat in the court row seats.
That was a strong challenge. He's still able to put it in.
London right now, again, shooting 63% from the field, 40% from downtown, and yeah, it's just 3 from the line so far, John, but 100% from the charity stripe. As Osei will kick it out. Muldrow for 3, book it.
The big man can shoot as well.
Leading the league in blocks over his career, and like you just mentioned, can get it done on both ends of the court. Moon to Capers, into the corner, another 3! Williamson, a little too much mustard put on this one, and it is Brown pulling away the rebound. Brown with his team down by 7. Yep. Nice back pass, and they cap it off. Beautiful play by Brown and Mike Allison, the Canadian, out of Hamilton, Ontario.
That's right. That was a big mismatch for Quinnell Brown that time in size. He's just able to put it right over top, the smaller defender to the backdoor cut, Allison.
Looked like the jersey was being tugged there by Moon. Instead, corner 3 for Capers. It won't go. Capers tried to lunge in there for his own rebound, but Quinnell Brown once again pulls it away, his 2nd straight rebound of this game. Brown to Muldrow.
Oh,
back-to-back 3s for Sam Muldrow.
2-point game.
Muldrow was a 2011 SEC Defensive Player of the Year and made the All-Defensive Team twice during his time at South Carolina. He is a South Carolina native hailing from Florence, as this is an offensive foul to the Montreal native in Osei. Just a 2-point game, as you mentioned, though, partner, and we see 2 newer faces coming back into the game for Doug Plum in Forte and Jaylon Tate.
Well, Moon did the right thing. He just stayed in front of his player, and that little left arm push-off, just enough to send him flying. The ref was right there to spot it.
A little ticky-tack.
A little bit, but it's right in front of the ref, and you did cause the defensive player to go flying.
That's the geography of it. As a little hand in the cookie jar action here. And Osei and Forte play keep away with each other. That drew another whistle from the official. I think he was just telling the boys to play nice. What a great job by the Express in this 2nd quarter, though, partner. And it wasn't Chris Jones. Let's face it. He had 10 points after 12 minutes of play. It's been Sam Muldrow with 2 3-balls. Quinnell Brown now with 5 points. And let's face it, Derek Nix also had 2 buckets early in this 2nd quarter, as it's a 15-7 2nd quarter of play so far for the Express. 3-ball is up, and it's green as the grass for Tyrell Green.
Yes, they said that he was comfortable shooting the 3-pointer, just hasn't taken a whole lot, but he's very comfortable. 2 for 2 now.
2 for 2, much like Sam Muldrow for the Express. As Muldrow thought about going for a third helping from downtown. Instead, the hook shot over Randy Phillips won't go, and Forte comes back the other way with his 5th rebound of the game. Forte stuck on his pivot to Jaylon Tate. Tate back to Forte. Forte into the key to Capers. Capers far side. Crosses the dial to Tate. Tate puts the shot up. It won't go. Capers muscles the ball back for Phillips. Pushes it to Forte. Back to Phillips. Out for Capers. Or apologize, that's Tate. And Jaylon Tate dials it up from downtown.
His teammates are starting to look for him because they want him to get back in the flow of the offense. So they sorely need from him that scoring punch. When Moon is off, they need him to be that scoring punch as well.
Tate's already played more minutes on the court in this game, partner, than his debut at Budweiser Gardens, where he got that ankle re-injured about 4 minutes into his playing time. Long three dialed up. This will go over the backboard and rebounded away by Forte. Again, now that's 6 rebounds, 4 shy of the double-double in this opening half of play. A travel, though, by Forte gives the ball right back to the Express.
He was waiting for Tate to come to his left a bit. Cardinal rule, you don't leave your feet unless you know what you're doing, right?
For Forte, as I mentioned, 2 seasons at Georgia, but then transferred to Portland State for his senior year. In his total collegiate career, he started 27 of 95 games, averaged 16.8 minutes of court time in each contest, and was a 2016 All-Big Sky second team member. And as I mentioned before, tons of time in Europe before coming here to Canada. Anderson, miscommunication with Muldrow. It goes out of bounds, lightning ball. And after a great start to this quarter by the Express, much like a great start to the first quarter by London, all of a sudden, well, the rowboat continues the other way. 6:30 to go here before the recess break. It is Capers looking around for options. Green gets open for him. Green down low, muscles it in.
And no call. Stuck with the play, able to force it in.
Tyrell Green and Garrett Williamson both at 8 points. Forte still leading the charge, though, with 12. He had that out for the first 12 minutes of play. Big rebound popped out by Jones. Jones is rejected by Capers. Now, Jones is going to complain and say that he thinks this was goaltending. And I don't know if we're going to get a replay of it right away, John, but
it's close.
It's debatable.
It's really close.
So if the ball's coming down, it's goaltending.
It's still up. Yeah, right at the apex, right at the peak.
I like that word, the apex of it. Jones after the inbound to Anderson. They're going to try and capitalize here as that opportunity came early in the shot clock. Now it's Muldrow backing down. Forte went high off the glass. It wouldn't go. Williams Jr. puts it into the recycling bin.
Good position underneath. Able to put it away.
5:50 here in the second quarter remaining. Jaylon Tate. Tate got some real estate. Out to Capers. Capers down low to Forte. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Forte is going to be fouled by Muldrow. Now, you see the coach for the Express down there saying that's a travel. And I know what, I think he's got something to debate about there too.
It'd be close to a travel, but the foul was sort of unnecessary. You watched the arm swing at the end. We've talked about it in other games as well. So far, he's just changed on his pivot foot. So, but that swing at the end by the big guy, Muldrow, caused the foul. He had the guy pinned. Nothing he could do there. Why the big arm swing?
What would you be telling your team right now if you're Bill Jones, who's the head coach of the Express? Your team's down here by 8 in the second quarter play. This is a guy that's won 2 championships in this league, has well over 100 wins in his belt, and a former professional basketball player. He had a cup of coffee with the New Jersey Nets. Bring back the New Jersey basketball team.
Wow. What's that?
I said bring him back. Bring back New Jersey. Brooklyn doesn't need a team. They already got the Knicks.
I suppose, yeah. I don't know. I didn't really think about that. I'm not that much in love. I'm not that much in love with them. And the Knicks, I don't know. They've been dysfunctional for a long time. I feel sorry for R.J. Barrett, to be honest with you. I hope they have some good coaching changes there, pick up some quality players. He's going to be in for a rough 3 years on his rookie contract.
Well, I'm glad they have some Canadian content for New Yorkers to enjoy, because that's pretty much all you can enjoy if you're a Knickerbockers fan the last decade or so.
So anyway, your question was, what's Windsor doing? Because I think they got a little unfocused there. They were really pushing the ball hard inside and kicking it back out to Muldrow for 2 open threes. Of course, we saw, right, and Quinnell Brown had some mismatches. They need to look for their mismatches out there when they're available.
Currently in this game, Windsor shooting 39.5% from the field. That is not comparable, though, to the immaculate 58.8% that London is still shooting here late in the second quarter of play. I know your favorite coach and your favorite team is Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs, and I guess the answer right now is, well, the ball's going in the basket.
Yeah, you can't beat good shooting, so that is so true.
Once again, Chris Jones leading the charge for the Express with 10 points. Williams Jr. with 7, Muldrow with 6, and Quinnell Brown still a quiet evening so far with 5. Cameron Forte leading everybody on the court as he heads to the line for his first attempt from the charity stripe with 12 points to his credit.
Interesting lineup they have out there. You got Tate and Moon out there and Williamson. 3 guys all sort of play the same kind of position. 3 good ball handlers. And you got A.J. Gaines, we know what his game is, and the newcomer.
And it's
Forte.
batted off the rim by Muldrow.
And that is not goaltending.
That's correct. Under the FIBA brand, if it goes off the cylinder, you can punch out the ball, which is kind of cool. Muldrow trying to get the pass from Jones. It deflected off of a Lightning body, though, and it will be.
Muldrow's fallen a little bit in love with his 3-point shot there, so he should have slid down where that ball was passed to. That's where his teammate was expecting him. He had an open lane to the basket.
Muldrow, during his time at South Carolina, over 2,500 minutes of court time in the NCAA, logged over 860 points and 600 rebounds. As now Williams Jr. got the ball back. This won't count, though, as he spent one too many seconds beneath the London basket.
That is correct. Good defense by Williamson. Stayed down on the ground, made his defender work hard, and spent too much time camping out in the restricted area.
48-39, 5:10 to go here in the second quarter of play. It is the Goodwater, Alabama native, Xavier Moon, a give and go with Forte. Try to get it back to Forte. It's stripped away, though, by Anderson. Anderson to Jones. Jones, well, getting in the way of Jones, at least, was Williamson. And, well, it'll be inbounded here. As you mentioned the fouls early. Both teams kind of playing even Steven right now, 3 fouls apiece.
Hasn't been a real
grinder game.
No, not really yet. It's a little bit unnecessary foul there. A little bit lazy move in his feet. But
nobody's had to foil the knuckles just yet, Joe.
No, not yet. Hopefully not.
As Jones received the pass from Osei, the one-hand floater is up, rattles around, and goes down.
Good decision. Too easy to get to the rim that time.
Lightning looking to add to their 7-point lead. The Chicago native, Jaylon Tate, 5 points so far in this game. Finds a seam down to the baseline. Going to take a trip around the world, it seems like. Eventually gives it to Moon, to Forte. The kick out to Williamson. Great ball movement to Gaines. Splash!
I thought Williamson should have took the shot, but that was a quick pass to Gaines, and he was ready in the corner.
Something you have repeated time and time again, Mr. Van Houwelingen, though, was they need to make that one extra pass.
They do.
And they need to do it with speed. They certainly did it there.
That's exactly right. And that was the key.
Nix, I thought that was crafty. Could have gone for the dunk, but knew there was some, well, abrasion coming up, so he switched to the hand and laid it in.
Don't play for the show, play for the dough. Just make sure the ball goes in.
Forte, he's up into that corner, and to be honest with you, I don't blame Cameron Forte. There's been a London Lightning product in that far corner all game long, and when there isn't, it's a turnover.
He left his feet again without knowing what he really wanted to do, without confirming or making eye contact or knowing his player was there. A little bit of unfamiliarity, I think, is part of the equation. I'll give him that. It's only his second game. Probably only a couple practices as well.
Yeah, he apparently practiced for less than an hour before making his debut for the London Lightning down in Windsor. Nix strips it away from Forte, then Gaines is going to get called for the foul, and Forte's not happy, but I thought that was a great move by Nix, and I mentioned this before, played for his home state of Michigan, and he played, well, Summer League and G League ball for the Detroit Pistons franchise.
Nice. Well, left Forte that time a little lackadaisical when he grabbed that rebound, just sort of stand there and let the ball get slapped out of his hands.
Jones, nasty crossover, and he banks it off the window and in.
Banks it off is the key there. There was no other shot but that bank shot. Terrific play.
London looking to add to their 6-point lead with 3:30 to go. It's the Pennsylvania-born Canadian and Williamson directing traffic. Nice bounce pass to Forte. Shot is up. A rare rejection from the rim for the newcomer. That's his first miss from the field. Now 6 of 7 in this game. Jones, a retaliation 3. Break out the ceiling fan partner as it was an air ball. Williamson, well, butterfingers the other way. Teams are going to point at each other like they naturally do after these situations, but they're going to say London
I think
ball.
that's a good call. I think the defender knocked the ball loose. First off of Williamson, and then it came off his own knee right here, right there. See his knee last.
Yeah, hit Jones
Good
last.
call by the trailing ref.
Williamson, 6 seasons in this league, all in a London Lightning uniform, was a 2014 NBLC Canadian Player of the Year. And as I mentioned, this is game number 236 of his NBLC career. Talk about being a veteran.
Who's played the most in this league?
Well, you got to throw me under the bus like that.
I'm not throwing you under the bus. I figure you probably know that stuff. I'm just so impressed with all your knowledge.
I'll throw this at you. There's a guy on Windsor who we haven't seen play in this game yet. As there's a opportunity for London, again, not capitalizing in the second quarter. They had numbers if they had pushed it. Instead, you get Chris Jones with his nasty ball handling to now Anderson kicking it out to Osei. Near corner, Williams Jr. in the grill of Randy Phillips, a 3.
A step back 3, no less.
Yeah, Alex Johnson, that's the gentleman I'm thinking about. A Toronto native that's currently not in the lineup tonight, at least it looks like, for Bill Jones in the Express. Kirk Williams Jr. Well, he got hacked by Moon on the way to the rim.
That's a good foul.
But you asked me who had the most points. Alex Johnson.
No, I said most games played.
Oh, most games.
Most games.
Alex Johnson might be in that equation, partner. This is his 7th season in the league. He has over 2,000 points now in his NBLC career. And he's had stops in Mississauga, St. John, Halifax, Orangeville, London, Niagara, St. John's, not to get confused with St. John, and now
I'm
Windsor.
Always confused with that. Got 2 Johns up here, I'm always confused.
And you literally, I mean, you're talking about 8 different franchises.
Yeah,
in
you
this
wonder
league.
why they
He's
don't stick
traveled
with
around.
one team, right? Such a great player.
I'm not going to say the land of misfit toys, but sometimes you're just looking for a home and nobody wants you sometimes.
I don't know, yeah, it's curious sometimes, all the movement in the league.
Watch out for A.J. Gaines, cheekily going into the far corner right now.
Ryan Anderson's season down there, he does that same move himself. That 3-point shooter Ryan does. He knows his game.
I was going to say former teammates, but no, actually Anderson left London before Gaines joined the
I believe so,
organization.
yes. Yeah.
But both have definitely made a name here in London in this house known as Budweiser Gardens. Just a 1-point game live on Rogers TV. It's a Saturday night fight under the lights of the Bud. Xavier Moon near wing to Forte, who again leading everybody on the court right now, or I apologize, in a Lightning uniform at least, with 13 points. Lost the handle though, and it's actually Jones who does lead everybody on the court with 14, pulling away with the ball and getting fouled.
Yes, forcing a little bit in the last couple possessions. Just needs to stay within the offense. The ball will come back to him. His teammates are looking for him. He can just repost it again. Just kick it back out. There's lots of time on the shot clock. Yeah.
Moon's coming off. Jaylon Tate goes in. As I mentioned, the Chicago, Illinois native played for his home state of Illinois in 4 years, started in 35 of 121 games. I thought Forte stole it away, but Jones somehow got it back into the corner for Osei. 3 ball is up. It won't go. Forte with the rebound, his 7th of the game. Just 3 boards shy of the double-double already with less than 2 minutes to go in the opening half. Forte's shot is up. It won't go. Williams Jr. emphatically upset after the call on him.
That's another close one. I do think it was on its way down, though, that time because he released it really quickly, so the defender got up late to that. That is called a goaltending. Not a goal. Yeah, is it a foul or a goaltend?
I think it was a foul, partner, to be honest with you.
I thought that was a goaltend is what they called. No, they didn't. They called it a foul. I'm thinking,
Yeah, so maybe now you're in more of
I'm thinking
Kirk Williams Jr. might have an
argument. It was a goaltend. I didn't think he fouled him at all. It's like, okay.
And once again, you see Bill Jones talking with the officials after that last infraction. Again, a great resume by Coach Jones.
Absolutely, yeah.
Forte's shot is up. This one rattles off the rim and won't go down. He's now 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. 6 of 7, though, from the field. As now he does have 14 points and counting in this game. Just a 2-point lead for the Lightning with less than 2 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Windsor's done a good job this quarter. Ever since about the 3-minute mark in the first quarter, they've really held their own and have made London uncomfortable in their offense. And
it's London pretty much not shooting enough, John. They're still shooting at 56.8% from the field, 45.5% from downtown as the big man rumbles down low and Derek Nix.
Bully ball, I call that. Just bowled his way down.
Tied up at 52 all. Tate looking around at options, stuck on his pivot foot, finds Forte, who tried to hustle it to Capers, intercepted by Osei, back the other way come the Express. Quinnell Brown using the glass. It won't go down, and it looks like it goes off of Capers and remains Windsor ball. London outscored their opponents by 10, 32-22 over the first 12 minutes, Well, so far they're being outscored by 10 with 121 left here in this
tale of
second
two
quarter.
quarters, absolutely. London's only got 20 points this quarter. Windsor has really put the screws on defense.
And not to a lack of efficiency, but more, well, quantity.
There is a
quintessential.
quintessential
Quality shot from Anderson
That's
from
a
3.
quintessential shot I've seen him hit so many times for London Lightning.
And retaliating the other way is Green.
How did we not know that he could shoot so well? Man, he's really showing something tonight.
That's a little anything you can do, I can do better basketball right there. We're all tied up at 55.
And we've only seen him, 3 or 4 times play here at London, so we're still getting a good look at him.
for 3.
Oh, my.
We're going back and forth here at the Bud.
Shootout at the OK Corral.
I like that reference. 44 seconds to go here in the second frame. Looks like Williamson wants the Lightning to slow things down. Capers the Forte. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Forte just rear ends and express down to the ground. I think an Allison, the Hammer native. As now Tate sets it up back at midcourt, wants a screen from Forte. Once again goes against the grain. Desperation 3 put up by Green. It would have been a shot clock violation anyway. Jones with the shot clock turned off. Anderson from Windsor can't get this 3 to go. Tate pulls away with the ball. 10 seconds left in this quarter.
That's right, good pullout. Well, let me make a quick decision now with 5 to go.
So
Don't wait too long.
Puts on the brakes at midcourt. 2 seconds left. Long 2 is up. Hits the rim, won't go. Forte slapped at it, and they knock it in. Now the officials are going to have a conference about this. The coach for the Express quickly goes in there. Are they going to say this counted? If you ask me, partner, I don't think it's Saturday.
No, my goodness.
You better enjoy that, folks at home. And I know it's a bit of a cheeky remark, but 3 leap years ago, or 12 years of real time, my favorite basketball movie debuted. Will Ferrell's Semi-Pro.
Oh my goodness. That's not a basketball movie.
Dewey loves sugar. As the ball will be in Williamson's hands, he'll go and attack the rack right after the big man. And Cameron Forte starts off the second half like he started the first with a bucket, 18 points and counting.
He's beating his man down the floor to get that offensive rebound. Good for him.
So Windsor now trailing by 1, and again going back to that Forte last bucket of the opening half, should technically still be leading by 1 right now, but we got to put that in the memory bank right now.
Yeah, it's in the books now, so see if it makes a difference at the end. Williamson nearly a steal from the back door.
Now I'm noticing Osei feeding it down low to Muldrow. Now Muldrow trying to take more of a big man presence down low. We saw him dial it up for 3 multiple times.
Yeah, you surprised me a little bit with his accuracy.
It'll be the Montreal native in Kemi Osei on the inbound. Collecting it now is Jones. Jones, 3 is up. It won't go as the shot clock was expiring. Moon out of Moorhead State. Goes coast to coast, tries to lay it high off the window, but it won't drop down.
I think we need to see more of that. I said that during our break, that Moon has only taken 3 shots in this whole game. For the leading scorer for the whole year for London Lightning, that's not very many.
Only 2 points this evening for Moon, 2 points for Capers, sort of your veterans out there. Another veteran face, though, and Garrett Williamson does have 8. Green, 11, Gaines, 10, but as I mentioned, it's Cameron Forte. 2 straight games against the Windsor Express to start off his NBLC career, and, well, 2 pretty impressive performances so far.
Absolutely, but you can't count on one guy and go to the well too often.
Williamson to Phillips, rejected by who else? The block party makes an appearance in the 4 City. Sam Muldrow gonna dial it up for 3, hits the rim and it's rejected. Forte to Williamson. Williamson grinds into the paint. Beautiful bounce pass to Randy
Drop
Phillips.
pass. Everybody had their head turned, thought he was going up for it.
Just a 1 possession lead, but 3 points to defer these 2 teams right now with 10:15 remaining in the third quarter.
What I liked about that was Phillips was almost the first one down the floor, right? So he was hustling as a big to get down there as well for an offensive possession.
Left open for a 3. Can he make London pay? Quinnell Brown can't. And it's been somewhat of an off night for Quinnell Brown. Only 5 points at the halftime break. And this is a gentleman that led the Express with 27 points and 5 rebounds over 43 minutes in that 4-point loss.
And in a close game like this, he can come alive anytime and burn you.
Xavier Moon from the charity stripe.
That's what we need.
Stop, pop, and lock it. Xavier Moon.
Anytime you get the foul line and in, it's a green light as far as I'm concerned. Stop and pop.
A seesaw affair where London outscored the Windsor Express 32-22 in the opening quarter. Then we're outscored 36-25 in the second quarter. We'll see who dominates the third as well. The hand in the cookie jar is leaving you a little bit displeased by Randy Phillips.
What's the guy going to do out there? Like, why are you reaching in? And what are you burning one of your fouls? Like, they're so precious fouls. Like, they got to be worth it. I don't say you can't foul all game, but they got to be worth it. They got to be in a good situation. That is a silly foul.
And Randy Phillips, at least this season, seems like a guy that either is struggling in the second half with 5 fouls and has to be careful, or goes an entire game with only 1 or 2. It's very bizarre.
I don't know. You got to be careful with your fouls. I don't say you can't play physical and you can't have a foul, but they got to be judicious. They got to be well picked, well chosen. They got to have some meaning to them, not a giveaway like that.
And back at the line will be Kirk Williams Jr. He's a native of White Plains, New York. This is his 8th season in this league and his 3rd with the Windsor Express. The first shot will not go. Played for the Mississauga Power, Niagara River Lions, and the London Lightning before joining the Express. And he was a 2013 NBL Canada 6th Man of the Year. His first 2.5 seasons in this league were spent with the Mississauga Power before the Power actually, well, decomposed to make way for the...
Decommissioned, I think is what you mean.
I like that.
Yeah.
905, though, is my point. The Raptors 905 took over Mississauga, and that's a hard, pony to compete against. Williamson slicing and dicing, rejected by the back of the rim. Offensively rebounded by Phillips, who muscles it back into the cylinder.
That's his game, as far as I'm concerned. Go get that offensive board, muscle it up.
Jones looking to retaliate, but Williams Jr. sent Moon to the floor. Now some pushing and shoving. Phillips has to be careful, and I love the teammate work of Marcus Capers. Simply bear-hugged Randy Phillips and started directing him towards his team's bench. That's a real teammate, though. That's what a teammate needs to do.
Capers, he's absolutely right. He's dragging, pulling him away. He's telling him, what are you doing? Keep your temper. Yeah, you might have got a hammer down there on the basket, but you got to rebound. Look at that offensive push there, and then a bump in the chest.
I don't know why Quinnell Brown went right after Randy Phillips like that.
There's too bad they don't have a replay on that, because that is definitely a flagrant foul and a technical.
Yeah, I thought Quinnell Brown should have been punished for that altercation, but it looks like cooler heads are going to prevail. In fact, now you see one of the assistant coaches, I believe, for the Express having to come out and move Brown away.
I haven't really seen that in Brown before. I'm not sure what happened there. A little frustrated maybe with the early going in the second half.
Quinnell Brown, this is game 126 in a Windsor Express uniform. He did help them win back-to-back championships in 2014 and 2015. You're talking about a guy that's 36 years old. There was a lot of shock around the league when the Windsor Express did sign him. And a veteran experience that I mentioned before for the Lightning side and now for the Express side for Quinnell Brown. You can't buy that kind of experience, but Brown is still having his plea bargaining agreement out there with the officials.
Well, it was pretty obvious to me the first foul. Watch this here. He's trying to set a screen, but
a little bit of a drive-by.
He pushes out with his left arm, and then he runs right into Phillips. And I don't know why he continued into Phillips. I can understand that he was overly reacted with the Moon, but I don't understand.
It's Brown that gets the benefit at the end of the day, shooting from the charity stripe.
Well, I think there's a technical foul on Phillips, right? So,
but they should have gone both
Brown
ways.
is taken, and they already took one down here, right?
So, you see Moon and Phillips sort of joking around right now.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on.
Before this week, John. The 3rd straight affair for the Lightning
against the Express. Yes, it could start getting heated, absolutely.
Now, for the Express, they saw the Titans from KW intermittently between the last 3 games against the Lightning.
Okay.
However, the first one rattles out for Quinnell Brown, and you see the crowd is now in it. As that physicality, that rough stuff, got the people going. So we go from one end of the court all the way to the other, where Moon's now going to shoot.
Yeah, and then I believe London will get the ball back as well, I believe. So.
Once again, after Quinnell Brown missed that free throw, goes right over the official and continues the conversation he had before. I don't know how much of a conversation the official wants to have with the gentleman at this point, considering everything's been said and done.
Well, on the replay, it was quite obvious. It was a flagrant foul to start with, and then why he ran over and bumped chest with Phillips, I have no idea.
Xavier Moon does make both from the line. Quinnell Brown missed him. That's a 2-point swing plus, to your credit,
possession, yep.
London's going to inbound the ball here with 8:56 left in the 3rd.
Yeah.
London still shooting 55.1% from the field, but here's the thing, John. They've shot the ball 6 times fewer than the Express so far in this contest. Phillips on that left hand pulls it up. He'll be fouled and go to the line.
He's doing the right thing. He's putting pressure on the defender, creating contact, and the refs are not going to let this get out of hand. They're going to call it. So
and
good
cool
play
like
on
a
Phillips.
milkshake there. Just made sure that, okay, I'm going to get physical again, but I'm not going to lose my temper.
No, but he did the right thing. Created contact, and the refs are going to call it tight because of what just happened, right?
We'll have to keep an eye between Quinnell Brown, though, and Randy Phillips as this game continues to see if the theatrics continue. Second shot is up. This one won't go for Randy Phillips. And so far in this game, Phillips has, well, 7 points. Check that, 8 points, and he's 2 of 3 from the field. Jones, high off the glass. Go to geometry class.
No kidding. I think Capers came down awkwardly that time. He was limping earlier in the game. He's limping a little bit right now as well, going high for that block.
He is a warrior, though.
He is, yes.
White kicks tonight for Capers, by the way, as Phillips gets entangled with Jones, and it gives the ball back to the Express.
They are not letting anything go that might be of half measure of a foul. They're going to call it.
Well, I think specifically for Quinnell Brown and Randy Phillips, there's definitely more eyes on them now.
Absolutely, yep.
So they got to be careful. As it's Jones, nasty move at midcourt, using a bit of a screen to get away from Moon. Tries to go to the bank again. This time can't make a deposit. It is rebounded offensively by the Express. Osei from the charity stripe into that far corner. Muldrow double team. Now to Osei. Watched by Cameron Forte. Loses Forte and goes to the rack.
Got beat off the dribble, did Forte.
Less than 8 to go here in the third quarter. A 5-point lead for the home team in the Lightning. It's Williamson. Down low to Forte. Forte being washed out by Quinnell Brown. Spins off of Brown. The one-hander's up. That was going to go in. But you mentioned this point actually earlier in a previous broadcast, John. You can knock it off the rim. You can't go through the cylinder to do it. And that's what happened on this last play. And that's why the bucket's going to count.
That's exactly right. Watch where his hands are when he tries to get this ball to come back out of the hoop. He's coming up underneath. I mean, I could block everybody if I could do that, if I was allowed to do that.
Oh, man. I just find that so funny because in general, you don't think anybody's going to swipe at the ball, let alone punch it underneath the cylinder. 7:35 to go here in the third quarter of play. Beautiful pass to Muldrow, but actually Muldrow couldn't handle it right away. Punched out of bounds by Williamson, and will maintain in Windsor's possession.
He's done that a number of times, Williamson. Come from behind with the help defense to prevent that easy putback for the big guy underneath.
Mentioned at the top of our broadcast, too, Williamson attended Lower Marion High School. He was a Pennsylvania native. The late, great Kobe Bryant also attended that high school. As Williams Jr. over to Quinnell Brown. Brown's got to start cooking here in the second half. Goes to the spin move and lays it into the cylinder.
Smooth move. He's strong, Quinnell. He can hold the defender off inside the key there.
Only 7 points, though, so far in this game. 2 of 6 from the field is Quinnell Brown. But, yes, a nasty move at the last junction. As Forte trying the one-hand bullet it down to Capers. The officials look at each other and confirm it's still Lightning ball.
They're doing a good job, I think, the crew. I like when they consult with each other that way.
The only play that I could say, wait a minute, you probably should have consulted a bit more, was that last bucket of the opening half by Forte. And a great job by our truck and our camera crew as Forte, another 2 ball. Speaking of the devil in the shell up here, John. But
okay,
you
that's a scary thought.
You talk about the end of that first half, though. Again, the officials don't get the benefit of the
No, they don't. They have to make a quick second decision. To their credit, they consulted all 3 of them, and they felt that it was in time.
Jones, watched by Capers, pulls up the jumper. It rattles out. Rebounded by Williams Jr. The recycling bin. 1, 2 opportunities. Another opportunity as Osei does the smart thing, pulls out of danger, and resets everything up. Now Jones trying to cross over Forte. In the paint, he's going to have to put up a shot, and does. Splash.
Tough fadeaway. Good shot. Good concentration.
Great basketball game here at Budweiser Gardens on your Saturday evening. We missed you, folks. It's been 2 weeks since we've been on the air here on Rogers TV. Forte now. Oh, my word. Hoop and the harm. Cameron Forte, welcome to London.
Welcome to London. What a treat. Awesome spin move. And he put it in with his offhand. Watch. It's not his favorite left hand. It's going to be his right hand. See? Look. Right hand scoop.
Wow. Just a beautiful play. And you mentioned it,
You didn't say spin cycle.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't go to that move.
Oh.
We got, though, again, Jaylon Tate now in this game as he's on the court right now for Doug Plum's crew. Cameron Forte, second game in a Lightning uniform after having 25 points in his last game against the Express. Well, he misses this one. That would have been .25, Cameron. Come on, you got to follow the script here, kid. He has a double-double already, John. 24 points, 11 rebounds, making a massive impact early for Doug Plum. Jones, off of the rebound offensively, recycles it for 2.
Like I said, they need to get a couple other key players going. We haven't heard much from A.J. Gaines. The teammates need to start looking for him as well.
And I know he's new-ish given the lack of court time and all the injuries, but Jaylon Tate, let's face it, they released Omar Strong over Jaylon Tate. So you got to expect things out of Tate considering they let go of a guy.
Yeah, you know, and I know it's only really his second game back, but they have high expectations for him. He does need to start producing for him.
7-point lead for the Lightning, but if you recall, they led by as much as 10, or actually more than 10 in the first quarter of play, led by 10 after 12 minutes of play, only to trail by 1 at halftime. The Detroit native, Derek Nix, tries to go to the bank. The putback slap. Kirk Williams Jr. gets it into the rack.
Lost him on the way in. Easy putback.
5:07 remains here in the third quarter of play. A 5-point lead right now for the London Lightning. And they've been in control for the most part of this third quarter. Not quite the dominance we saw, though, in the opening cue of play. As, well, Doug Plum slamming a chair down at courtside. He is quite upset at his team right now, John.
And look who's taken over as a leader. Marcus Capers talking to his team.
Doug Plum just left. Plum went for a walk to cool himself down to the scorer's table, and you mentioned it allowed the assistant coach and the rest of the players to sort it all out. I mentioned earlier in this broadcast how he played at UBC. He also played 2 professional seasons in Hungary and Romania. He's also the founder of Vancouver Basketball Inc., a training and development center for young basketball players, Doug Plum. And when he actually, I found this kind of cheeky, John, when he left the St. John's Edge, his reasons for leaving were to be closer to BC. Now, London is closer to BC than St. John's, but
oh, with the airfare nowadays, you can get there back and forth very cheap.
As I mentioned this,
I think his attention was focused on that easy putback with the offensive player come in. And I think in particular he was upset with A.J. Gaines just watching on defense that time. And Capers, I saw, took over in the huddle over there, then took over on center court, encouraging his players not to forget their defensive responsibilities. So I think Plum just made his point, because as A.J. Gaines was going on the court, he said something to him, Sterling, and then he slapped him on the traditional on the back or butt, if you want to say it. You know, the guy thing, you know, come on, let's pick it up kind of idea. But he kept them in the game, which is what I like.
I mentioned that this is a leap day, leap year, the 5th Saturday of the month of February. It's also the last day of Black History Month. And I think of guys that broke the color barrier like Jackie Robinson in baseball and, well, Willie O'Ree in hockey. It's hard to believe that it was until, well, Halloween night of 1950 as A.J. Gaines pulls up a 3 and can't get it to go. But that's when Earl Lloyd broke the NBA's color barrier when he stood up for the Washington Capitals. Yes, the Washington Capitals basketball, not hockey team. And they played the Rochester Royals. The Rochester Royals eventually turned into the Sacramento Kings as Capers gets a 2-ball to extend it to a 7-point lead.
Yes, that's awesome that you dug all that up. You had said the name to me before the broadcast. I was like, I know that name. But now that you say it, I'm going, now I know that name.
Numbers the other way for the Lightning. Forte to Green. Green lays it in with the left hand. And yeah, to me it was kind of shocking because, yeah, I know that name, Earl Lloyd, but it's not as, prevalent as a Jackie Robinson or a Willie O'Ree.
No,
you don't hear about Earl Lloyd's story as much. And let's face it, John, you look at the court right now, there are primarily colored players playing for both teams. It's hard to believe it took till 1950 at the professional level for the color barrier to be broken. It's a 9-point lead for the Lightning, a timeout called at the court, and, well, again, that seesaw. London controlled the first, Windsor controlled the second. It's only natural that the home team flipped it for the third.
Well, I think Doug Plum's message resonated quite loudly with those last 2 possessions of the London Lightning because they were terrific on the defensive boards and they were pushing the ball down the court in a hurry.
As I mentioned before, this is the 7th encounter between these 2 teams in the regular season, the 8th if you include a preseason affair. Officially, London has a 4-2 advantage. By the way, London is 2-0 at home against the Express this season. Windsor's next game is versus the St. John's Edge. That's not till Friday, March 6th. London's next game, as Greg mentioned at the halftime break, the Sudbury 5. They got to go up to Sudbury, though, on Saturday, March 7th. They'll be back at Budweiser Gardens against those same Sudbury 5 in a away and home series.
Yeah, they have a bunch more road games do London Lightning. They were sort of tilted in their favor beginning first half of the schedule. So the second half now, they'll have more road games than they do home games. So every one of these home games is going to be important to protect their advantage in the league.
And this is an imperative last game of the month of February for both of these two teams. Windsor's 4-6 this month. After having a 4-4 January, they're 4-5 on the road so far this year. Knicks wanted an and one. So does his coach, Bill Jones.
I think there was an and one.
Yeah, no call though. Silence from the officials' whistles with 4:03 now remaining here in the third quarter. Phillips from Jaylon Tate, down low to Capers. Capers puts up the shot, it won't go. Sort of a, does that count as a rebound, John, when Nix just slaps it over to Quinnell Brown like that?
No, I don't know who gets that credit for that one.
Brown pulls up the putback slam by Kirk Williams Jr., yet again going undetected.
AJ Gaines again didn't block out.
5-point lead for Jaylon Tate. London Lightning, you see the veteran in Williamson ready to check in. They go down low to Capers. Capers is rejected by Jones, although I think they are calling Chris Jones, the Memphis, Tennessee native, on the foul. And Jones, get that out of here with that call. See it here again on the replay, Joe.
Oh, that was a foul. He thought he got a lot of ball, but in the end, look at his body just crashing right into the player. So, yeah, he might have got all ball, but you went through the body to get to it. So.
Capers, as I mentioned before, 4 seasons at Washington State in the NCAA as his first shot is good. 3,400 minutes of NCAA court time, and now over 3,000 minutes in a Lightning uniform since the beginning.
He played 41 minutes the last game. Like, that's crazy.
And they've, you know, all the injuries, all the flu bugs.
He's been the constant.
Yeah, he's been the one that's been grinding in night and night out.
Absolutely.
Second shot will not go. It is rebounded away by Quinnell Brown. That'll be his 5th rebound of the game. Quinnell Brown, by the way, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, and 7 points, getting it done all over the map. Williams Jr. wanting some love from the rim, instead gets love from the official. He'll go to the line.
Take that timeout, coach from Windsor really said, you guys got to keep hammering on the offensive board. Our only way to get back in this game because their shots are not falling.
And I mentioned earlier the month of February, 4-6 for Windsor. It's so far a 5-4 record in the month of February for your London Lightning. And if you recall, a 4-game winning streak was followed by a 4-game losing streak after having a 6-2 January. The former London Lightning product, Williams Jr., well, doesn't make this shot. And actually, Omar Strong, I had it down on the notes before I realized he's been released by the team. He did play for the Windsor Express too, albeit just 1 game.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And I honestly, I'll repeat the same sentiment from the top of our broadcast. Really hope that another team in this league picks up Omar Strong. Randy Phillips down low. Now wait a minute here.
Going to be a foul called, yep.
Okay, but the basket will not count?
Nope, it was on the first attempt. He got his rebound and put it back in, but it's too late. It's on the first one right here. Right here, he gets.
Taking
oh, that's the earlier foul, yeah. With Capers, that was definitely a foul. Yeah. Phillips is on the line.
The look of disbelief from Jones from that previous foul. Not so much questionable this time as Phillips goes to the line. And the product of Radford in the NCAA does make his first. Last year, he played for the St. John Riptide, and he averaged 20.3 minutes per game, 6.2 points, and 4 rebounds. But, John, you repeated the same sentiment as Nix knocks it off the rim. That can happen in this league, folks. When it comes to Randy Phillips, you expect him to be a double-double type of guy.
I really do, for this team in particular, and I think he has enough good matchups that he can do that every night.
Chris Jones just put on the speed bag past Jaylon Tate and lays it in. Now Tate being double teamed the other way. No whistle. Play continues here. I thought between Tate and 2 Express players, I thought something was going to get called. Now Phillips can't capitalize, and Jones, nasty ball handling skills at midcourt, but eventually he'll lose it. Jaylon Tate, AJ Gaines gets held by Jones, and that's the call on the court.
I like the call and I don't like the call. It penalizes London. They had a break. Let the play finish and then call the flagrant. You hear Leo Routon say it all the time on the Raptors thing. He says, let the play go first and then call it. You know what you're going to call it anyway, so just wait. Let's see what's happening here. The struggle, AJ Gaines diving on the floor. He's trying to get away. And look, he grabs his foot. But the ref is only watching that. He's not watching this play down here. But they are going to get the ball back as well, so that possession is not lost. but they could have converted, right?
Jones has to be careful. He's leading the Express with 25 points. That's his 3rd foul of the game. He also has 8 rebounds. So he's close to a cream and sugar fix, just like Kirk Williams Jr., 18 points and 10 rebounds, already a double-double. And for your London Lightning, 24 points and 12 rebounds. Cameron Forte, welcome to the Forest City.
Okay, so they can't keep going to the well all the time with Forte, right? Somebody has to pick it up here, and I really think it has to be Moon, to be honest with you.
And will free throws come back to haunt London as Phillips going to attack the rack? It laid on the rim for a couple seconds and decided, no, I'm not going to go down.
Good take, though. That was a good no call by the ref, too, I thought. So.
Both teams shooting dismally from the charity stripe as it looks like Williamson got into the grill of Jones. Jones holding on to his face right now as he's coming off of the court. Goes right to the sidelines. Going back to the free throw sentiment, though, 60%, 9 of 15 in this game are the Windsor Express. 61.1%, 11 of 18 are the Lightning. Neither of these teams are willing to win or lose this game from the free throw line.
Not tonight, anyway. So, Capers coming back on after just a short break there, maybe not even a minute, I would say.
London's attempted 15 threes in this game. They're clicking at 40%. Windsor, 26 three-ball attempts at 26.9%. They're going to go down low to the big man and Nix. Nix tried to get it back, and to be honest with you, that's all on Quinnell Brown. It went off of his fingertips and out of bounds.
Deflected by Capers. Yeah, I was going to say at the top of this quarter here that Windsor had 10 more attempts. Shot attempts as well than London. London wasn't getting up a whole lot of volume. You had said something about that.
Well, in the first quarter of play in defensive rebounds, London was out rebounding them 14-6. Currently in this game, defensive rebounds are 26-25, still in favor of London, but the Express have certainly closed up that gap. Bill Jones has been adamant all game long.
It was a push-off. Just take a look at it. How do you think it's not a foul? Look,
yeah,
he pushes the guy.
Shoved him in his face, too.
The arm is extended. It's not just incidental contact that sent him flying. Like, I would have said that should have been a no call if there was just contact, but he put his arm out and physically pushed him with his left hand.
If he was a running back in football, that would have been a pretty good move.
Yeah.
Just the stiff arm to get your opponent out of your way.
Why do you think that is not a foul? I don't get it. So.
Well, Jones was, upset at a few calls. There was, in his opinion, a missed goaltending call in the first quarter.
Fair enough.
A missed, they called Forte for 2 points at the end of the half when it looked like it was zeros on the clock. So he's had some points to make it against the officials, but to your last point, John, not there.
No, and Windsor's still hanging around, even though they lost their composure here with a couple of flagrant fouls and technicals. They're still hanging around by 6 points.
Currently outscoring these Windsor Express in this third quarter, 28-20 right now are your London Lightning, and they're enjoying a 7-point lead as a result with 1:50 to go here in the third. It is Chris Jones, bounce pass to Quinnell Brown. Brown's gonna take the three in front of Williamson's face, can't get it to go.
It's a pushing foul.
That's the right call on Forte.
Yeah. I believe so as well, yeah.
You know it's bad when this broadcaster sees it.
Yeah, was that Williams down under there fighting for that board?
It was Forte that got called on the push in the back, right in the small of the back
of Williams,
right?
Jr. Yeah, so Williams is sneaking in there. This is the third or fourth time this quarter where he's come in from behind and snuck that offensive rebound.
Well,
somebody's got to put a body on him.
He loves playing at Budweiser Gardens. Played 88 games in a Lightning uniform, and I'm sure was used to the great crowds that the Budweiser.
Yeah, we got a great crowd tonight. I was just looking around a few minutes ago and going, wow, lots of people here. Lower Bowl's 2/3 full at least.
And again, we are halfway through the 2019-2020 NBL of Canada season. And you mentioned it, John, more away games than home games for the remainder of the stretch for the Lightning.
Exactly. And that can be a plus or a minus, right? Because sometimes you're away from home, no distractions. All you're focusing on is on a strategy, rest in between games, working together as a team, chemistry building. But sometimes it can be a grind as well. So
Jaylon Tate trying to get it down low to Capers. Capers saves it from going out of bounds. Forte, the one-hander, and the left goes down.
That's a quick release. No chance again for a defender.
Brown, European sidestepping his way around Jaylon Tate. Back and forth they go.
Took it back right quick within 5 seconds. That basket's back again.
Xavier Moon to the near side. Back out to Capers. Beyond the arc. Into Williamson. Down low to Forte. Forte called for the charge, though. That's his 4th foul of the game for
Ooh,
Forte.
that's huge. You got a quarter to go yet.
Williams Jr. has 4 for the Express, as well as Sam Muldrow. That's why we haven't seen much of the Florence, South Carolina native in this second half. But yeah, those are the 3 gentlemen for both teams that are in currently, quote-unquote, foul trouble.
Forte staying on the game with a minute to go. I don't know if I'd keep him out there.
Yeah, especially with a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. You think you rest him for the remainder of this quarter.
Yeah.
Although, he's been closing out quarters, even with a controversial bucket to end out the second Q, so maybe that's what Doug Plum's thinking here. It's Quinnell Brown, attack the rack, and 1.
Who was that? Capers trying to draw the charge. Yeah, just couldn't get his feet set quite in time to be square. He tried hard to draw a charge there, but Quinnell, strong take the back. Look at Capers trying to get square to the ball, but he couldn't do it.
Just the 2nd foul of the game for Capers. Been all over the scoring sheet here on your Saturday evening. 3 of 8 from the field, 7 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds.
They can't. They're going to substitute for Forte if you're wondering what's happened. You just have to wait for the foul shot to be taken first, I think.
Okay, so the scorers table threw off our boy OI because they blew in the substitution horn and made our boy OI look foolish as he went onto the court. That's not cool. The Edmonton, Alberta native, eager to check back in. He's still talking with the official. Wait a minute, when can I go? And now he finally does.
The refs have to acknowledge it, right? So they can do it before or after the foul shot. Depends on what's going on. Of course, this is an and 1, so they should do it before the foul shot.
So Quinnell Brown will eventually, and maybe they were trying to cool him off there, I don't know, but it doesn't work as Quinnell Brown does make the N1 play.
Yeah, he's coming to life a bit, isn't he?
Just a 3-point game yet again. What a game on your Saturday night live on Rogers TV. It's Xavier Moon receiving the bounce pass from Tate, puts up the shot, splash, and he gets a pat on the keister from his head coach.
Absolutely, he needs to take more shots. He really needs more volume.
30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of play. Kemi Osei currently with the rock in his possession. Osei from the charity stripe, step back 2, won't go. AJ Gaines on the rebound. That is Gaines' 4th board of the contest. Gaines leaves it there for Tate. The Chicago, Illinois native sets up the pieces on the chessboard as he's back at midcourt with the shot clock turned off. 7 seconds left. Tate guarded by Nix. Tate pushes the pace, zigzagging his way in, try to get it down low to Capers. Looked like they wanted to do a little bit of an alley-oop there, partner.
Capers was calling it in the corner there when he was up here by the London Icon, way up here. When Tate was, Capers had called it all the way down there, so that was a set play.
So with 2.2 left on the clock, Tate will go to the line to shoot 2. Currently in this game with 7 points, and he's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe to couple his 5 assists. And again, with the releasing of the Baltimore, Maryland native and Omar Strong, it certainly will be Jaylon Tate and Xavier Moon's rocks as far as the point guard position is concerned for Doug Plum.
Absolutely. What's Moon got now? Because I don't think he had
8 points.
He only had 2 points in the half, right?
Jaylon Tate's shot is up and it is good. So now Tate has 9 and Moon has 8 to answer your question, partner. AJ Gaines coming out right now. And Tyrell Green checks in. You're actually improving offensively, believe it or not. Gaines shooting 4 of 9 for 11 points. Green 5 of 6 for 13. The desperation heave will not go. And once again, after having a dominating first quarter of play.
The ball, they're up to 23 assists, above their average already, and we're only in the 4th quarter.
23 apples to 16 for the Express, but it is the Express 15-7 points off of turnovers. We'll see if they can rely on that stat in this 4th quarter of play. Williamson to Capers. Spin move, John, but he can't capitalize on it as Derek Nix pulls away the rebound.
I think he was anticipating some contact there and never got it. Just shot the ball a little too hard.
Nix with 10 points, 2 rebounds shy now of a double-double. Kemi Osei, team's down by 7 to the aforementioned Nix. Nix into the key, trying to move up. He'll be hacked by Capers, and Capers puts his hands on his hips. And I was going to say walk away from the official, but actually walked right to another official to, well, argue his case.
I don't know, so much contact in there, hard to tell what really happened. Like, he really had good position, did Nix in there, so not a whole lot you're going to do. But he did put the ball down, and Capers trying to grab it. Ref called a foul. He's standing right there 6 feet away, so he had a good look at it.
So Nix will go to the line. Shot hits the front of the rim and won't go. I've mentioned this on a previous broadcast. Nix played in Estonia and Latvia for 62 games in 2014 and 15 prior to coming to this league. during his 139 games in a Michigan State uniform. Now, keep in mind, I realize this is a big man that makes his bread and butter in the paint. Never attempted one three-ball shot his entire collegiate career.
I can believe it. So
Capers beyond the arc, lunges in, kicks it out for Green for three, rattles around and goes down.
That's a recipe for success, right? Dribble penetration and kick it out to the man in the corner. Has he missed any tonight?
He has missed one. He's now 4 of 5 from downtown, 6 of 7 from the field, 13, make that 16 points in this game as Anderson last touched it. I thought it went off the sneaker, though, of Tyrell Green. Not according to the official, who's right in the vicinity, though. Lightning ball.
And the other thing is we've talked all year about the efficiency of the London offense. And they got 94 points, but you realize they've taken almost 34 less shots than Windsor tonight. 34 less attempts, and they're still up by 9 points.
And Bill Jones rests arguably his star forward right now, and Quinnell Brown, as Brown takes a seat along with Chris Cummins, who is just giving a bit of a breather out there, if you ask me, for Chris Jones, as Anderson checks on as well for the Express.
Well, look, great shot selection there. Great ball movement. Gaines, that is probably one of his favorite shots, is that jump shot from the foul line.
Looking a lot like that first quarter right now here in the fourth, partner. It's an 11-point lead, double-digit territory right now for the Lightning in front of the crowd at the Bud. Derek Nix shoves Capers down to the court to Williams Jr. and one.
Something's going on down there. I'm not sure what, but they didn't call the foul on Nix. That's hard to tell. Did he flop or was it contact?
What's interesting too is Nix was laboring after that play. In fact, he'll be changed out for Sam Muldrow, who has 4 fouls currently in this game right now.
I didn't quite see on that replay because we saw the foul, which was definitely a foul on London that time, but the early contact by Nix.
And Williams Jr., partner, after the first quarter where I didn't think we were going to be talking about him much, has 22 points, a double-double performance with 10 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the charity stripe, and 7 of 15 from the field.
Okay.
But he does have 4 fouls. So.
8-point game again. That's nothing in basketball really nowadays with the 3-point threat.
As the passing will be broken up by the Express, the intended target was Forte. Jones marked down by Forte with less than 10 to go in this game.
Look how hard Williams is working underneath.
Jones looking around at his options. Near corner to Osei. Osei kicks it back out. Jones, 3-ball splash.
Wow, with a defender running at him high in the air. Still makes it.
Now Capers was fouled by Jones at midcourt. No,
he created the turnover.
Ooh, okay. So they called a travel at midcourt instead. I thought Capers was roughed up.
I don't think there was any contact there from what I could see.
It's interesting because Capers did receive the ball before half, and as he moved across half here, he gets right in the grill, does Jones, and you're right, it is a travel. So
cut it down to 5 again. Windsor not going away.
It was 11 a couple seconds ago. It could have been cut down to 2 there. Instead, the 3-ball is missed. Green to Forte. Forte!
What a soft touch. Hard on the dead run. On a floater, no less.
28 points in this game and counting for Cameron Forte. And man, oh man, the newcomer making an impact here early. As I mentioned before, 2 years at Georgia for the Bulldogs, but then transferred to Portland State for his senior season.
Well, he's certainly got a flair for the dramatic the first 2 games he's here. I don't know if he's going to be able to produce like that all year long, but that would be a huge injection of scoring prowess in the London lineup if he can produce like that every night.
Looks like Xavier Moon's going to rest up here with 9:08 remaining in this game, and his team up by 7. And I believe the play was called in a little too soon. Not everything was set up by both officials yet, so we'll do a redo here with 9:05. Tate eventually grabs the rock and eventually will move it into Express territory. 4 seasons at Illinois, started in 35 of 121 games, almost 2,000 minutes of court time for Jaylon Tate.
I think he can get to that spot anytime he wants. And if he can shoot as well as that every time, that's going to be a dangerous weapon.
Lightning hit the century mark here with 8:45 remaining in the fourth quarter of play and a 9-point lead. Jones trying to chew into it. His bounce pass is disrupted by Capers. Numbers the other way. Forte to the rack, and he breaks up the left-hand hammer.
But they're not back on D. Oh, good hustle by
Jaylon Tate ask and you shall receive. Back the other way. Gaines to Forte. Somehow comes back to Gaines.
He was out of bounds, yeah.
And he can't touch the ball, but he did.
Here comes the jam. Look at this. Who knew he can get up, too, like this with a left hand slam?
And not wanting to be posterized that time, and I don't blame him.
He took too long getting back on defense. Did you see that? They had a bit of a break. Good thing Tate's got some speed. He cut that pass right off. They would have got that basket back right away. Weren't for Tate's hustle.
Checking in late will be Garrett Williamson for Tyrell Green. Williamson so far in this game, 8.6 assists and 2 rebounds. But again, Cameron Forte. You said that they'd have to go to somebody else, John, but I guess not. 31 points. 12 rebounds. He's getting it done on both ends of the court. Yeah,
well, Green's got 16 and Gaines has got 13. Now Tate's at 11.
Connell
so they
Brown,
got 4 guys in double figures now.
3 ball won't go. Anderson from downtown. It won't go. Muldrow slaps it back, and Anderson gets possession. Fresh shot clock for the Express. Left to right on the radio dial to Brown. Brown to Williams Jr. Jr. into the paint. Can't get the shot to go. Rattles off the back of the rim.
He is just tenacious
for
in there.
ages and then drops. So the lead again, 9 right now for the Lightning with 7:40 to go here in this Saturday night contest. Cameron Forte leading everybody on the court. Nice dish to Capers, 2-hand jam.
Good choice instead of the floater over 2 people. Nice little dump pass.
Just the second assist officially in this game for Forte, but with eyes like that, I'm kind of shocked that he doesn't have more. Williamson into the grill of Jones. Now they pile up on top of each other, and I hope Jones is okay, as he was at the bottom of everything, and looks like Williamson might be a little banged up too. He's already been injured once or twice in this season.
So Williamson, yeah, he's hobbling a bit out there. Let's have a look at here. Nice. Instead of the floater, which he's been doing all game, he floats it over to his teammate instead.
Recognized the double team coming, and then left Capers wide open.
Here's a lot of the collisions here. Not sure what happened with
Jones
Williamson.
right there. He has a teammate fall over him in Williams Jr. Then he has Williamson just fall his sister right on top of him.
And Williamson's going off. He's limping again. Looks like he's upset that he's hurt.
Well, it was the reaction when he was on the court grabbing at his knees that worried me, partner.
Yeah, and we know he's hurt himself earlier this year. Hopefully it's not the same injury, but he's feeling on the bench there. Trainer having a look at him.
7:19 to go here. And Windsor has to be careful. They've had a handful of opportunities to really get this game under their side of the fence, but instead they still trail here by 11.
Yeah, now it's 11 again. It keeps going from 5 to 11, 5 to 10. They keep giving it away to us, Windsor.
So Moon gives it to Gaines. Gaines hits the 2 ball.
Gaines, one of his favorite spots, right? Jump shot from the foul line.
15 points in this game for AJ Gaines, 6 of 11 from the field. Eager to grab an NBL of Canada championship. #Drive for 5 here in 2020 for the London Lightning. Randy Phillips commandeers this pass away from the Express into the Lightning favor. Jaylon Tate fakes the 3 to Moon. Over to Gaines for 3. Bang!
Huge game. Teammates getting him involved. He had 30 points last game. He was a little quiet earlier tonight, but now he's coming alive.
18 points, 3 of 5 from downtown as a Louisiana native. Trying to respond as Jones air ball ends up working out like a pass to Williams Jr., who caps it off.
Oh my goodness, how many offensive boards does Williams have tonight?
13 rebounds, I believe 7 of which are offensive right now, partner, and 24 points. To the moon and back. Xavier Moon retaliates.
Same spot again, foul line extended, right? They love that spot.
So London starting to pull away with this one, partner, with 6 minutes left. Muldrow trying to change that. Hits the rim and won't go. Williams Jr. is going to get hacked and go to the line.
Well, somebody box him out is what Coach Doug Plum is saying. Like, box him out, put a body on him. He is working so hard in there. He is single-handedly keeping them in the game, I believe.
Now, I fully agree with your point on Kurt Williams Jr. constantly penetrating the paint and getting opportunity after opportunity for the Express. The only thing I'll say, though, is Doug Plum's upset, and rightfully so. It's how upset he is. With his team up by 16, that leaves me a little befuddled.
No, not me. Those are bad habits. Bad habits. They're going to cost you later on this year if you're lackadaisical now with a lead. No lead is safe. And we still got, well, how much more time we got? We have 6 or 7 minutes yet. Like, there's tons of time to come back in if you want.
Again, London dominated the Express 32-22. And remember, the Express in that opening quarter really picked it up in the final 2 minutes. It would have been a lot worse. Now, in the fourth quarter, large in part to their first quarter performance, 20-11 they're outscoring the Express here on home court.
Yes. Yeah, I think London's taken control of the game, but that last little stretch, sort of a killer instinct, putting him away. A nice little jump shot by Gaines, another one by Tate, another one by Moon, right? But that's what he wants, Coach Doug Plumlee. You got to put him away, put him away, put him away. Don't take your foot off the throttle or off their throat. Yeah, they're up 16, but that can be, you can score 6, 8 points in a hurry, and then now it's down to 8 points again.
It wouldn't be a Rogers TV broadcast without me pointing out the fact that the London Lightning are the worst free throw shooting team in the league right now.
Wait. I looked at the stat. Hang on. The free throw percentage now, they're tied for number 6 at 72%.
So I beg your pardon.
Yes.
Somehow they've climbed up. However, tonight, John, 68.2%, back to their usual trend. The only thing that's benefiting them is Windsor shooting even worse, 61.9% in this game from the free throw line.
The foul line really hasn't been the difference tonight like it was on Wednesday night for London getting to the foul line so often. So, but I think shooting efficiency for London, they've taken, well, if we'll do the math, it's probably 25 shots, maybe even more, that Windsor has taken, but London has, for the most part, has made good choices on their shot selection.
But as Williams Jr., I beg your pardon, goes to the line for this free throw opportunity, 17 of 20, 85%. That's what Windsor shot, well, just 2 nights ago against these Express, and I actually got to beg my pardon again. It was an 11 a.m. tip-off in Windsor, as Williams Jr. does make his first from the line and makes his second. Currently in this game, though, Windsor shooting closer to 60%, coming off of an 85% performance.
Well, like I said, Williams is keeping them in the game this last quarter, to be honest with you. He's up to 28 points now.
Tied with Chris Jones leading the charge for the Express, but still 30 points for Cameron Forte, leading everybody on the court. Jaylon Tate dials up the 2 balls.
Same range again, foul line extended, nice jump shot. That looks like they're very comfortable, him and Moon, with that, and Gaines, of course.
16-point lead here in the fourth quarter, and again, Chris Jones trying to, well, respond. He hits his head, too. You got to hope he's okay on the baseline.
Yeah, he plays a tough physical game, doesn't he? Puts it all out there.
And this is a lot different than the previous game where London, well, trailed by as much as 19 in the third quarter. However, very similar to the fourth quarter performances they had in Windsor, where they outscored these Express 38-20.
I think that was Forte's 5th foul, I believe.
And you are right, partner. Forte with 5, Gaines with 4, Randy Phillips with 4, and Williamson with 4. But as I look to the bench, looks like Williamson has the ice bags
He's down in the end. He's got his hoodie on.
So he's not coming back into this game.
He's not coming.
On the Windsor side of the fence, Kirk Williams Jr., 5 fouls. Sam Muldrow with 4. And that rounds up the people that are in trouble as far as the harms are concerned. And again, a 38-20 fourth quarter against Express last game, currently 22-14 tonight. As Forte looking to add to his 30-point performance, he'll go to the line to at least try to do.
That was a terrific crossover dribble. Did you see that? I'm going, whoa, all of a sudden he's going to his right. My goodness.
The only criticism I could give this Forte fellow is his free throw shots right now. He's 14 of 16 from the field.
Watch his crossover, like, wing.
But 2 of 5 from the charity stripe is, again, he has been I wasn't even going to say a much-needed addition, because this is the #1 team in the Central Division we're talking about.
But they've struggled in the last 6 or 7 games, not only with injuries, turnovers, sickness, but also in playing good basketball and finding a consistent scorer for themselves. And this could be exactly what they need.
So Forte, as I mentioned, 2 of 5.
And how many three-pointers has he taken?
Well, none.
Exactly. This is what they need. They need some inside scoring presence. Phillips has been trying his best all season to do it, has had some big games, but if they can get a consistent inside presence like Forte, that's exactly what they need.
3 of 7 from the charity stripe. His team has a 16-point lead here with 5:05 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. It's Muldrow pulling up a 2-ball and capers face and gets it down.
It's been quiet this second half for the most part, hasn't it? That's really...
It was that 4 fouls I really put him on the bench. He had back-to-back threes in the opening half. I believe that was the opening quarter, partner. And since then, had been shut out in the second and third quarters as you get a 3-ball here from Xavier Moon.
Moon, that was a great kick out by Forte.
Moon, 1 of 2 from downtown, now with 13 points on the evening. As a battle between Quinnell Brown and Cameron Forte, and I believe that'll be Forte's 6th of the game. And with 4:32 remaining in this contest, with his team with a 17-point lead, Cameron Forte's 12 rebound, 31 point, 3 assists evening here in London. His home debut, John, comes to a close.
We don't know if it's a win yet, so he's not going to be happy unless it's a win. I guarantee you, but listening to that interview at halftime, if the team doesn't win, he's not going to be happy.
Hey, the first 9 games of the regular season here at Budweiser Gardens, I'd say, John, come on, man, it is guaranteed.
No, it's,
well, now the Lightning have lost their last 3 games in a row here at Budweiser Gardens, large in part to not being able to close it out in the 4th quarter.
Exactly, so here's a good test of character, right? Tate's in to help with him as well. Williamson's out with an injury. The go-to guy right now, Forte's out with foul trouble. I can't keep saying how important it is to manage your fouls during a game as a player. That foul at the end there, that was an unnecessary foul, but it's number 6, so you're out.
Empty the tank if you're Doug Plum and the Lightning crew. Your next game is a full week away. Next Saturday, they'll be up in Sudbury against the 5. Then they're back at home the following week to take on Sudbury. The Windsor Express's next game is, well, next Friday. So they're kind of in the same equation there, John, taking on the St. John's Edge. As it is, Windsor trying to improve to 5-5 on the road this season. And it's London looking for their first win at home in 4 games and improve to 6-4 during the month of February. Again, 4-game winning streak, 4-game losing streak. Let's get back on the winning side of things.
He's doing a lot of coaching down there as Coach Plum. He really wants them to execute what he's putting into plan. So let's see who's out there. Phillips is out there with Gaines, as well as Capers, always the capable Capers. And both the guards are out again.
Combined
Tate and Moon.
Championships between these 2 teams in this league.
Yes, they've both been in there many times.
Large in part due to great coaching.
I agree.
Again, Bill Jones, a 2-time champion in this league for the Express. Technically, Doug Plum, a 1-time champion. He was the assistant coach under Kyle Julius when the London Lightning won their last championship. Muldrow couldn't get the shot to go. Quinnell Brown, 2 opportunities, eventually patty cakes it in.
My goodness, those offensive boards are just keeping them in the mix.
Time is of the essence right now for the Express, though. They need some defensive stops, and they need them now.
Do you know how many offensive boards they have? 24 offensive boards to 8 for London.
And the Express could use some mistakes from London as Jaylon Tate rumbles out of bounds, and it'll be Windsor's ball.
No lead has come for London, at least not with 4 or 5 minutes left as far as I'm concerned. 15 points can vanish quickly. They need to execute on defense and offense.
It will take a gutsy performance, though, as Jones, a little bit of a late whistle gets everybody here up in angst at Budweiser Gardens.
I do like Stellick as a referee. He's been one of my favorites for many, many times. I thought it was a late call. It looked like a good block, but he's standing right there, and he's a veteran.
So going to the line will be Chris Jones. As I mentioned before, he's a native of Memphis, Tennessee. Jones played last season with the Windsor Express, started in 9 games of 25, had 2 years at Louisville after spending 2 years at Northwest Florida State College in the JUCO side of things, and he had 2 seasons in France prior to coming to the NBL of Canada. So you see everybody, just a numbers game going back up the court, while Jones is still attempting his second shot from the line.
He missed his first one. And he missed his second one.
But with no numbers, somehow Randy Phillips still gets the ball down. And I think Phillips was trying to call for a timeout, at least from this angle, John. And instead, jump ball is called from the officials.
They didn't grant it to him. I didn't really see clearly he called for one, but
I thought when he had
and
rolled
I think
around
I don't know if
his
you
back.
can call a timeout on the floor of FIBA anyway. I think it's only on dead balls.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I have to think about that one again, but I'll have to look that one up. But I don't think the players can call it during play on the court.
It's a great job by Phillips to battle. And you're right, he doesn't call for timeout.
No.
I thought when he double crosses his arms over the ball, I thought he was attempting to make a tee. He didn't. So to your point, maybe following with the FIBA rules, knew he couldn't do it.
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty sure about that. They can't call a timeout on live action, only on dead balls.
And there's little tiny but imperative rule changes between the FIBA brand and what fans are used to watching with the, I was going to say down south, but we got a team too, the champions in the Toronto Raptors. Quinnell Brown into the spin cycle, gets some love off the rim, the square, and in. It's still a 13-point deficit, though, for the Express on the road here with 3:30.
London has to execute. Sorry to interrupt you, partner, but yeah, it's still 13 points, but they haven't scored in how long? At least 3 minutes now, isn't it?
So we'll see if Capers and the crew can change that. Capers going to try and attack the rack over Kemi Osei. Shot is up. It won't go. Now Gaines, I believe, last touched it. It will be Windsor ball. So that's at least 3 straight trips that I can remember, partner, where London hasn't come away with any offense.
And Windsor's coming around with some points, right? So it's down to 13 now. You need to execute at least 3 or 4 more possessions for London Lightning to put this game away.
Mr. Van Howling and singing a little Drake on your Saturday night. It ain't over till it's over.
Ooh, is he singing that? Yeah. I thought the fat lady did that.
Oh.
It ain't over till it's over.
As Quinnell Brown down low uses
the
window to his advantage. He looks back at the official for an and one, but won't get it.
Well, he had back down Xavier Moon, a much smaller figure. Good play. He's coming through in the end here for Windsor Express.
Jaylon Tate and Xavier Moon both on the court right now. It was originally Tate controlling traffic. Now it's Moon. Moon into the corner. And to be honest with you, he was looking for Tate. Tate hadn't rotated in time, though, and Doug Plum displeased.
Just stop and pop it. You're so good at that jump shot. Why don't you just stop and pop it?
Down by 11. Can Windsor continue this mini run? Jones originally rejected not once, but twice. He slaps the court out of frustration.
Escaped the bullet there is right to the London Lightning. Windsor not going away.
And you mentioned it, though. Just some offense right now would really put this one to bed. Moon, with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, attacks the rack and does so with the 2-pointer.
Saw the mismatch with the big guy Muldrew and blew right by him.
13-point lead into the near corner. Osei has to make this too much muscle. Again, another rebound by A.J. Gaines, his 6th board of the contest to couple his 18-point performance. So I think now you can start to talk about how this game is nearing an endpoint. Moon pulls up the 2. High arc won't go. Gaines fighting for the rebound. The Express pull it away. Anderson up the court to the Montreal native. And Osei from behind. A.J. Gaines gets him with the right hand.
Don't give him anything easy. That's okay. I'll take that foul anytime. A hustle foul, stopping it near a possession at the end of the game. Put him on the foul line.
5th foul of the game for A.J. Gaines. He does have to be careful.
That's okay. I was well worth it, that one.
94 seconds left in this game. A 13-point lead for the home squad.
A little body contact there. That's what it was called.
But you mentioned actually earlier when Doug Plum was upset, thanks to Kirk Williams Jr. going under the radar in their territory. Has London cleaned up those kind of things, in your opinion, right now?
Not too much. I don't think so. Because Jones just had one put back offensive rebound. He just didn't bury it, right?
4th quarter, arguably the tightest quarter so far. A 10-point differential in the first, 11-point differential in the second, 12-point differential in the third, and currently just a 5-point differential in the 4th quarter. But Windsor's going to have to, put it into their side of things in order to come back tonight with only 90 seconds left in this game, down by 11.
Got to manage and convert in this possession. I don't think there's a sniff at all for Windsor.
Xavier Moon to Capers. Over to Randy Phillips, into the corner for Moon, trying to pull out the dagger 3! Nail in the coffin!
That's a dagger 3 is right.
122-108 with 1:10 remaining on your Saturday night tilt. It is Commons. Down low to Brown. Quinnell Brown, watched by Gaines. The turnaround 2 is up, and it is good.
He's so tough when he has time like that. He's just
36
set up.
years old.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, that play looked pretty youthful to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Moon, realizing time is of the advantage of the London Lightning, with his team leading by 12. Well, he's going to try and drip every last second out of this clock. Watched by Osei, trying to do a little Allen Iverson right now. And Kemi Osei is Xavier Moon. He gets free, puts up the shot off the window and in. What a great way to cap off the night for Xavier Moon.
That's the Moon I was looking for all game long, and here he comes in the last 2 minutes. 2 great plays, big plays.
Not a crescent moon, not a full moon. You wanted an Xavier Moon tonight.
I did. I've been looking for him all night for him to come through like that.
Now, for some reason, Quinnell Brown and the Express don't really have much pace to their offense right now. They'll get it down low to the Canadian and Allison. He can't get this shot to go. Rebounded away by London. And they started off the 2019-2020 regular season with a